Nepotism is so great.
I think it's
can't
wonderful.
wait to nepotize my sons when they get
As
into
you
the
should.
workforce.
Mid-level exception, guys. Get the mid-level exception. Superstars get the max. Super duper stars get the super max. Like, they come out of a box.
The Mavs have peaked. They're not going to win a title. They
That's
peaked.
peaked.
They're never going to go any further. They're never going to go any further than what they did.
But if you're Steve Kerr and you're looking at your roster, are you at all tempted to, say, play Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron 100 minutes a game?
Just run them out there.
Just burn them out.
Jason.
Yeah.
For everybody else, we didn't take any break. We had 2 episodes come out these last 2 weeks.
That's right.
About Gladiator. But you and I recorded those episodes early. We've been on vacation for the last 2 weeks. We're back now. I'm so happy to see you. You look so handsome and well rested.
Oh, thank you. So do you.
Great. What were you doing during the 2 weeks?
I was still working. I didn't do. I was just not. I was just not doing this pod. I was still doing stuff. I did go away for the week of July 4th. I went to Palm Springs, where on one day it was 124 degrees.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was crazy, but like, poolside. It was very relaxing. A lot of grilling, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's
what did you do?
Lovely. Same as you. I just did other jobs.
Yeah,
they don't let the non-whites take a full vacation. Jason.
You don't get to take a true vacation.
Working. We were I do have a basketball thing that happened that I was like, man, I got to make sure and tell Jason about this, because so I have, of course, the 3 sons, the twins and the baby. The baby is now going into grade 6, and I think what happened. Same as what happened with him with baseball, where he's not like a sports kid. He doesn't have any interest in playing sports. But at some point during his elementary career, one of his friends was like, I'm joining the baseball team. And he goes, great, I'll join it too. And then we signed him up and he played baseball, right? I think the same thing is happening now, but with basketball. I think one of his friends was like, I'm going to play basketball. So now when I come home from work, he's like, hey, Daddy, you want to play basketball each day? Like, you want to play one-on-one? And we go out there and we play. And he's only 11. He's a small little guy. He's
so
probably
you're
like
just destroying him.
Just destroying him, right? It's like he's like 5 feet, right? He's very easy to beat. However, he has an older brother who's really good at basketball, one of the twins, and so he teamed up with him to like learn a little bit, but also they wanted to play 2-on-2. This was the baby's idea. We're gonna play 2-on-2, me and my brother versus you and Mama. And I was like, all right, that sounds
okay.
That sounds good. We'll do that. I tell Laramie, we go out there, we play. And we're playing just normal 2-on-2. And the twin is now 17. He's taller than me. He's stronger than me. His shoulders are wider than me. He's faster and stronger than me. He shoots better than me now. Okay. It's a disaster. I can't no matter how hard I try, I just can't beat him anymore. He's too good. And he does a thing every game where at the end of it, he's just like, all right, everybody has to die. And he just takes over. Like, there's no stopping him. Layups, right hand, left hand jumpers.
Are you fouling him?
I'm fouling the hell out of him. It doesn't affect him at all. He's too strong. He's like, this is like after Jordan decided the fouls were not going to bother me anymore. That's where we are in our career. I'm Isaiah Thomas, fucking hacking the shit out of him.
Yeah,
and he's just powering through me like nothing, right? But so we're playing. And this is the first time Laramie has had to play against him. We're playing 2-on-2. The score is like 7-5 or 7-6 or something. And they have the ball. The baby passes it to him. And Laramie ends up guarding him. She's out on the perimeter against him. And he does the thing where he's like, all right, it's your turn now. No mercy, no allowance for disparity in skill. He just, boom, 2 dribbles from like the free throw line. 2 dribbles. He's in Crocs, mind you. That's how serious of a threat. That's how serious.
But like the Crocs are strapped. Is the strap closed on the Crocs, or is it?
The strap is closed.
So he's in sport mode with the Crocs.
He's in sport mode with the Crocs. He goes from the free throw line, 2 dribbles, and then off of 2 feet, Jason, like fucking Dominique Wilkins, 2 feet, he jumps, and Laramie jumps, and so Laramie goes up, and he goes up. and then Laramie starts to come down, and he keeps going up, and he goes up and up and up, and two hand, boom, dunks it on Laramie. The whole rim and backboard shake. I was like, oh my god, like my hands are on my head. I can't believe what I just watched. This is Dominic Wilkins on Larry Bird, Sean Kemp on Alton Lister, Scotty on Pat. Like just boom on her. She
Knicks won
falls
that
back.
game, by the way. Sorry.
She she like stumbles backwards. She busts out laughing. He's laughing. I'm so confused because I want to defend my wife, but also I feel like I need to punch him in the head for dunking on my wife. It was unbelievable, and he did it so nonchalantly, just boom. And we, of course, we lost the game. Like we didn't score any more points after that. He was just like jumper, jumper, layup, layup. All right, I'm going inside. It was a disaster. He's so good now.
What position does he play?
He's like a guard.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
very.
and was this on a 10-foot?
The goal. So our driveway is like on an incline, so we
Okay.
have to like it's like 9.5 or something to try to
Okay.
make it 10 or whatever. It was
Sure.
up there. I tried, but before the game started, he was like, "I think I could dunk that now," and I said, "There's no. You got to get a foot above the rim to dunk it.
Yeah.
There's no way." And he's like, "I could dunk it," and I tried. I couldn't even. I was 6 inches away from even touching the rim, and I was like, "There's no chance." And then, sure enough, he did. It was unbelievable. I was so proud and also devastated. I
I
just
mean, you
can't
got a
believe it.
dunker in the family.
We have
This
a
is
dunker.
huge.
That's what I told him. He's the first
This is
Serrano
huge.
ever. The first Serrano ever to dunk it. It's crazy. He's like
This is
like
incredible.
the Neil Armstrong
Generations
of our
of Serranos have been struggling through the years to
Through the
get to
years.
this moment, and it's happened.
We have all played under the rim, and we finally got an over the rim guy. He's the chosen one. Oh my god! All right, you want to start the show?
Let's start the
Let's
show.
start the show. From Wondery, I'm Shea Serrano,
And I'm Jason Concepcion.
and this is 6 Trophies.
Hello! I'm Jason Concepcion, and welcome to 6 Trophies, a podcast series hosted by myself and father of a dunker, Shea Serrano, in which we comb through all the NBA news from the past week, then hand out 6 pop culture themed trophies for 6 basketball related activities. In this episode, the free agent market is swirling. Nepotism is great. And the Summer League is here. All that and more. Let's hand out some trophies.
We do 2 sets of trophies, the big trophies and the little trophies. The big trophies are first. These ones are the same each week. First up, the Denzel Washington and Training Day trophy given out to whoever it is who had the best overall performance of the week. This week's winner, free agency, baby.
Woo!
Free agency. Free agent market has opened up. And the biggest signing of all, Chris Paul has joined the San Antonio Spurs. I was happy about it. There are other bigger signings, I'm sure. But for me, that was the biggest one. We got Chris Paul. We got CP3.
How does it feel?
It feels good. Like, there's no downside to this deal. It's a 1-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
We just drafted a point guard. We have now arguably one of the, 5 or 6 greatest pure point guards of all time.
Yep.
And he's going to be around for a year to, like, mentor him, also spend some time with Wemby. It feels like there's no downside here.
Yeah, I mean, the all season, part of the discussion around the incredible ascent of Wemby has been, can one of these motherfuckers get him the ball? Can somebody get him the ball, please? Right. And now they have a guy who it will be his life's fucking mission to get this guy the ball.
I love that. I love that part of it, man. It's just when we were watching all the games last season, I kept talking about, man, I wish Mike Conley was on this team. I did not even consider Chris Paul because it didn't seem like a thing. But we got Chris Paul on the team now, and he's gonna That's the guy who he knows how to run an offense. We've seen him do it. This is going to be great. I'm excited about this.
You know what I'm excited about? I'm
What's that?
excited because the Knicks have done something that has legitimately never been done in basketball before.
It's very
We've
cool.
never seen this.
It's very cool.
And you and I have been watching this sport for a long time. And
Mhm.
it is rare. It is a rare and magical thing when you're like, "Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that before." I've never seen a team just be like, "Well, we've got several stars from a national championship winning college team. What if we just get them all? Just get them all."
Just
The
get them all.
Knicks got Mikal Bridges from the
Mhm.
Nets. They paid a
Mhm.
hefty price, including 5 unprotected first round picks, which is a massive, massive load. But that's what it's going to take to get the Nets to send their best player to their crosstown rival. And it's, I'm just excited. Like in the immediate wake of it, you got all those screenshots of Josh Hart and Jalen and Dante DiVincenzo like on FaceTime with each other, like, oh my, I can't believe
Mhm.
this is happening, sending texts back and forth. It's just massive. And unlike many of the deals, which we're going to talk about further, including Paul George to Philly, Caleb Martin to Philly, Klay Thompson to Dallas, DeMar DeRozan to the Kings, you don't have to sit and wonder, well, we'll see how the fit is. You know how
Right.
the fit is.
You know,
That's part of
that's their whole
the
thing.
price that's baked into this deal. There's already proof positive that this group can work together. You know what it's going to be like. So just run it back. That is tremendously exciting. And I can't wait to see. I can't wait for the Knicks 2024-2025 season. I'm tremendously excited.
How are you feeling about clearly the biggest the biggest pulls were made by the Sixers, right? They
Yeah, they
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 signed
really needed to re-up and they did it. Yeah.
they signed Tyrese to a new deal. They get Paul George, Kelly Oubre resigns, Eric Gordon gets his deal, Caleb Martin gets a deal, Andre Drummond. Like
Yeah.
they are like, all right, we're coming. This is going to be the year that we try and go get the championship.
Yeah.
How are if you're the Celtics right now and you're looking at that roster, how are you feeling? Are you scared?
No.
No, right? 0%.
No, not I think 0%
0%.
because listen, this is a tremendous offseason thus far by Daryl Morey and the Sixers. I think there's a lot of injury history there
Hmm.
to be candid, and so there's going to be a lot of luck in play. Certainly, if everybody's healthy. Okay, now you want to see it, and you're a little bit concerned. That said, Paul George was healthy this year, had a bad playoffs, bad, was not good. Joel Embiid has a spotty history in the playoffs. And I think if you're the Celtics, you're just running it back with the best roster in basketball, and you're thinking
Hmm.
we're not worried about anybody.
There's
That's what I would imagine. I think that they would still be 0% concerned. This is going to sound tremendously biased. I think the Celtics are more worried about a healthy New York squad than they are about a Philadelphia team that now includes Paul George, Caleb Martin, and Andre Drummond. I'm serious. I'm actually serious.
I don't know if I can go on that walk with you. I don't
I'm
know. That's still
serious. What?
I think you might be out
What?
on that one by yourself. Because it's still Joel Embiid, it's still Paul George.
Okay,
Like I get that Jalen was unbelievable in the playoffs. One of the probably seven best players in the league. It felt like
that's right.
when he was rolling. But then it also felt like at some point not that. And I'm just if we're picking who would I rather play, I would still rather play the Knicks right now than the Sixers, just because Paul George is Paul George, Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey is Tyrese Maxey. That's a
Tyrese
big
Maxey
that's
is
a
the
big
only
three.
one of those guys that bothers me. Literally the only one. Joel, you just feel like they're going to have to load manage both Paul and Joel. Like, let's be real about it. Like, you're going to
Right.
have to forget any of the agita about awards and fulfilling the requirements for awards. I think if you're the Sixers, mission one is finals. Like,
Yeah.
get there. And that
Right.
means none of the other side quests. Like, let's just be healthy. And so that I think that's going to be a really important priority for that's going to be priority one is like just get there, get healthy. And I just have a lot of question marks about whether they can do it.
Now that the Celtics have gotten their ring, Tatum got his
Yeah.
ring, and now you can take that question mark off of his back. That was he. I feel like he was the one carrying around the biggest question mark going into last season, and now it's gone. It's gone
Yeah.
forever. He's a champion. You can't say anything else about him. He was the best player on their team. Jalen got the Finals MVP,
Yeah.
sure, but Jason Tatum was the best player on that team, right? Who does that big giant 400-pound question mark go to now?
Oh, wow. Well, I think there's several. I think it goes several places. I think it goes to the Mavericks, where Luka Doncic's legacy was called into question
Oh man,
in a really serious way, maybe for the first time in that kind of serious way, where people were like, "Well, great player, obviously, incredible regular season player, has had great success in the postseason, but will never be a player that will take the final step unless he does X, Y, Z." I thought
right?
that was a big question. So, when Jokic faced similar questions some years back, all of a sudden he started coming in to the season in shape. Will that happen here? I don't know. But I think it's him. I think that's where it
It's
goes.
Luca. Luca
Yeah, I
over
think it's
Embiid.
Luca.
All right,
Yeah, because I think Embiid is in a place now where you're really like rubbing the rabbit's foot at this point. Like, there's
I got
so much luck in it. We
you. Hmm.
understand it, what an incredible offensive player he is. It's just, can he be there at the end without any nagging injuries? And I think
Yeah.
that just comes down to luck. His career is what it is at this point. I think Luca is still on the way up.
Okay. Next trophy. The Lauren Hill, you might win some, but you just lost one trophy. Give it out to whoever it is who had the worst overall performance of the week. This week's winner, the Clippers, for losing Paul George, and then blaming it on the second apron of the like what?
Well, and as many have pointed out, including Zach Lowe on his pod and various others, that seems like kind of not the reason. There were ways, I don't want to get too into the minutia, but there were ways it could have been avoided. But what it certainly felt like, looking at this, and Paul has since come out on his podcast, P podcast, and talked about the process and how the Clippers came in with a ridiculous low ball and then didn't want to add. He didn't want to do a fourth year. He wanted to do a no trade clause, and they wouldn't do it. But that this tone was really set by this opening low ball that kind of left a bad taste in his mouth. It really feels like what happened was the Clippers just decided, that's it. We want out, and we're just not drawing an arbitrary line in the sand, and we're not going any further than here in terms of years, which kind of doesn't make sense to me, because if you have these guys, you're already committed to it. So just
Mhm.
and you're already bringing the other two back. So just pay the extra money and figure it out. It's confusing to me. And then blaming the CBA felt really petulant for this Clippers organization, who really seems to be floundering right now. And then, to be fair to them, the CBA was designed specifically with Steve Ballmer in mind, and restraining the influence of his tremendous wealth. That said, really unique and acid type of message from the Clippers organization with their statement after Paul George left. I don't think I've ever seen a statement like that, Shea, that was released before the player had even been confirmed to another team. Like, that's the thing that was crazy about it. It wasn't like Paul George to the Sixers was like a lock at that point.
Right.
It was just like they had basically, both sides had basically come out and said, well, who knows where Paul's going, but he's definitely not going back to the Clippers. And then the Clippers released that statement. So, not a good offseason for the Clippers. I want to shout out Woj, because Woj is doing, again, again, when you see something new, it's unique, and we should take time to appreciate it. Woj is now shouting out agents. For instance, here is from last week. Here is Woj announcing the signing by the Pistons of Simone Fontecchio. Here's Woj's post. Fontecchio averaged 15.4 points on 42.6% of his three pointers in 16 games after arriving in a trade deadline deal with the Jazz. His agent, Sam Goldfelder of Excel Basketball, finished up the deal with Trajan Langdon this afternoon. So, a couple of things here. One, I love that Woj is doing this now because Woj is like, obviously his feud with Shams always in the background, and here he is, bolstering his relationships across the league with agents who he wants to give him stuff. I'll shout you out. I'm gonna raise your profile. And then secondarily, what Woj doesn't mention here is NBA agenting is the easiest fucking version of being an agent because all the deals are they're all the same deals. Like mid-level exception guys get the mid-level exception. Superstars get the max. Super duper stars get the super max. Like they come out of a box, these deals. There's really not that. Of course, you're negotiating whether the guy is a max guy, but then once you get there, it's like, okay, open the box and give him the max deal out of the box. They're on rails. It's the easiest version of sports agenting. And shouts to Woj for shouting out his guys. I love this move from Woj. I love it.
I think it's a really clever wartime strategy. It's like, all right,
Yes.
if I say your name out loud, you're on my team, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I'm just collecting bodies. I'm collecting soldiers. You're part of this army now. That's great. Shout out, Woj. Way to go, baby. Just keep doing it. Keep building.
Fellow sports fans, I have an incredible fact for you. There are only 2 days the whole year without a game. 2, with so much happening and so much action that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a breeze for first timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier. There's so much soccer happening right now. I'm a huge soccer fan. There's the Copa America. There's Euro 2024. Are you a soccer fan? Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and check out the odds for those particular competitions. And if you're new to DraftKings, you've got to check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code 6. That's code SIX for new customers and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age varies by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See terms and responsible gaming resources at dkng.co/base.
Next trophy, the Dominic Toretto I Live My Life a Quarter Mile at a Time trophy. Give it out to whoever it is who made a short-term decision with no regard for future consequence. This week's winner, Kawhi, playing in the Olympics. All right.
I mean, okay.
All right. Injured in the playoffs, back for the Olympics.
Hey, I'm sure the Clippers feel a very weird way about this.
I am all for this. I think
Okay.
anytime you hear him talk, especially recently, he's always got this thing in his head of like, or this message he's relaying of, I just want to play basketball, and I know I have this like spotty history with injuries, and so if I'm healthy and I can play, I want to play, and that's what's happening here. I just happen to be healthy during the Olympics. Great. I'm going to go play during the Olympics. How many chances is he going to get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go for it. Keep playing. Play Kawhi. Play whatever you want.
I love this quote from Kawhi. Kawhi, who, by the way, missed the final 3 Clippers playoff games with knee inflammation after playing 68 games across the regular season and looking at including many back-to-backs and looking like his old self
Looked
during
great.
much of that
Looked
run.
great.
Yeah. Here is Kawhi talking about the knee and talking about playing in the Olympics. Quote, I took the time and I was able to turn around over the last 2 weeks. So I'm out here now, yeah, and I'm having a good time. Basically saying like the knee just got better over the last 2 weeks, and it reminded me, Shay, of when I was a kid and my Super Nintendo all of a sudden wasn't working. It was a gift, and I didn't tell anybody. I was really scared because I thought my mom was going to get mad that the Super Nintendo's broken. So I turned it off, and I turned it off for like 5 days, and then when I turned it back on, it just worked. It healed
Oh
itself,
shit!
and I
Oh
feel
shit!
like
That's
and
a real Super Nintendo right there.
and I feel like that's exactly what happened with that's. I feel like that's Kawhi's approach right now. It just got better. I don't know. It just now it works.
I'm excited for Kawhi to be playing basketball. I want him to play basketball whenever he can. Are you? Is Team USA? Here's the roster right now. Bam,
Yeah, give me the roster.
Bam, Booker, Steph, Anthony Davis, Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Halliburton, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum. Is that a gold medal winning team right there? Are we bringing
I
home
think
the gold?
I think so. Yeah, but they're going to face real tests, including from an excellent Spain team and an excellent Canada team. And I think the world has been steadily closing the gap over the last 2 decades. But I would expect this team to win the gold. Yes, I would. Let me ask you this about Team USA. Coach is Steve Kerr. If you're Steve Kerr, Warriors coach Steve Kerr and the Warriors have had, I think, a magnificent offseason, including replacing Klay's production with Buddy Hield, and that among other really solid moves. They seem to be in the mix for Lauri Markkanen if Danny Ainge will ever allow a team to pry Markkanen from his gnarled white fingers. Um, but if you're Steve Kerr and you're looking at your roster, are you at all tempted to say play Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kawhi like 100 minutes a game
just
and
just
just
run
like
him out there.
just burn them
Run him
out?
out there. It'd be a wonderful chess move. Just have him out there. LeBron played 47 minutes tonight.
Hey, he
This
looked
is
great, didn't he? He really turned back the clock. Wow, what a performance by LeBron. Uh, and we needed it from the big guy tonight.
Next trophy. The Daniel Plainview. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy trophy, which is given out to whoever it is, or temporarily given up on for the week. This week's winner, the Nets, for giving up on the scale. We talked about this briefly earlier, but he's going to join the Villanova boys in New York. How are you feeling about the Nets this offseason? Sean Marks is trying to spin it like, hey, we're in a rebuild, but we're not in a rebuild. It's going to take a little while, but it's not going to take forever. Like, I don't know how to feel about this team.
I mean, they're rebuild. Come on, they're in a rebuild. They just sent they just sent their best player away for a bag full of picks, and I think that's just the kind of political doublespeak that you have to say when you are the coach or front office representative of a team in a big market that's trying to sell tickets, that's trying to compete for eyes with another big market team. I just think you can't. It's not the same as running a team like the Utah Jazz. I think could just straight up say we're bottoming out. We're gonna rebuild. We're gonna re up. Or the Blazers could say we're gonna really try and concentrate on the draft next couple of years. I think you can't say that you're on a full on tank, but it's quite clear the Nets are in a full tank. What are your thoughts?
I kind of feel the same way. Like, if you're saying, oh, they just got rid of their best player. If your best player is Mikal Bridges, it feels like you're kind of in a rebuild
Yeah.
already. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. You're
like
you're not bad enough if
yeah,
it's Mikal Bridges. Yeah, but you're
exactly.
not good enough.
Anytime I see the net stuff in the news, though, I just think back to there was a point when they had Kevin Durant on their team, and they had James Harden on their team, and they had Kyrie Irving on their team, and nothing came of it. Not one single thing came of it. The only thing that came of it was Kevin Durant hitting a jumper against the Bucks that was a 2 instead of a 3 because he stepped on the line. That's the only thing that came of it. It's the only memory I have from that time together, which is crazy.
It's weird, and not only that, I mean, I feel like books will be written about this entire stretch of Nets history, starting with the Prokhorov era when Mikhail Prokhorov came over from Russia to, you know, throw a ton of money into the team, and then they acquired the Celtics old guys, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and made some kind of run, and then transitioned into the very brief kind of big three era. That said, I don't think I've ever seen a team as snake bit as the Nets. Like, it was all, the luck was tremendously bad. And when you looked at it on paper, those three guys, I think they only played like what, 18 games, all three
It
together, or
was
some
so it's a very
small amount
small
of games.
number.
But in that time, it was insane. Like, if they could have been normal, if the team just could have been normal, you would expect they win the title. Like, they go to, at least go to the finals. So it's just an incredibly weird stretch and a bid for relevance by a Nets team that you have to feel like is much, much farther away from relevance in their market than they were when they begun this journey.
It's so hard to just be normal. It's so hard. Like
Yeah,
it's
tell me
like
about it. As a fan of the Knicks, they finally have
whenever
become normal.
this is like in my personal life, whenever somebody does or says a weird thing and I get mad about it, Laramie, I've said this to Laramie like 1,000 times over the last 2 days. But why can't they just be normal? Just do a normal thing. Just be normal for anything. Like if a guy's driving and he doesn't get in the lane how he's doing, like just fucking be normal. Just be normal. When we get around to making 6 trophies merchandise, the shirt is just gonna say just be normal. That's it. That's all it's gonna. Stop being weird.
Um, One more thing. So
Okay.
the the Knicks did lose Isaiah Hartenstein, who is now Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, that said, uh, there is, I want to shout out a article. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. I want to shout out an article by Steph Bondy in the New York Post. Headline: Thunder wooed Isaiah Hartenstein with an expanded role Knicks couldn't offer. The Knicks could offer Hartenstein $72 million a year. The Oklahoma City Thunder came in with an offer that was significantly higher than that, $87 million. And I think the Knicks couldn't even offer the full 72 because of like the apron and all that stuff, whatever the case may be. They offered him a lot more money. And he's going to come off the bench probably because I don't see the Thunder changing their starting lineup, right? He's going to be a
Mhm.
super sub essentially. So, what the fuck is this headline? Steph Bondy of the New York Post with an expanded role. He was starting for the Knicks for most of the season, and now he's going to come off the bench. Are you sure they didn't woo him with a massive fucking chest full of cash? Are you sure it wasn't that?
That was my.
That's
He was
all.
my favorite Nick this postseason, even more than Jalen. When he
He was
got the
great.
rebound that led to the Dante DiVincenzo three, my favorite play of the whole postseason was him just flying in there. There's like 3 defenders in the area, and you just weren't stopping him from getting that ball. He was getting that ball, and I love when a player plays like that. Shout out, Hartenstein. Next trophy. Chief Keef, that's that shit I don't like trophy, which is given out to a player team who does something. We just don't like it. We don't like it. This week's winner, not having a rich, successful, and influential parent like Bronny. We don't like it. Let's be clear.
I
Let's
did
be clear. We like that he has LeBron James as a dad.
good for him.
What we don't like is if you don't have that, because I think
It's not
nepotism,
fair.
Jason, is awesome.
Me too.
Nepotism is so great.
I
I
think it's
can't
wonderful.
wait to nepotize my sons when they get
As
into
you
the
should.
workforce. I
As you
can't
should.
wait. Oh, you don't have any experience? You don't know how to do this? 150 grand a year. Come on, you work at Halfway Book now. I can't wait. I can't wait to overlook better, more qualified applicants to give my sons the job. I think
You
everybody should
know,
do it.
there's been a lot of hand wringing about the nepotism lately, and in just like in culture lately. Whenever the conversation around nepo babies arises, people feel a type of way about it. I was struck by uh, after Bronny was drafted, Woj went on this little monologue about, oh, now like there's so much nepotism in the league, including GMs whose sons are agents, and I mean that's a thing that's happening with the Knicks. Is like Leon Rose's son is Jalen Brunson's agent. Jalen Brunson's dad is on the coaching staff. There's a lot of stuff like that. That said, I think both sides of the nepotism debate should allow themselves the grace to understand that their feelings are valid. If you're nepotizing your family member or you plan to, good for you. You should do that. You should love your family. You should give them opportunities. If you're like, man, nepo babies, I'm so angry. You should feel frustrated at that. It's
Hmm.
absolutely fine to look at a person and go, well, let's see if they can do it because they only got this opportunity because of their dad. That's absolutely fine as well. Both sides can be right. And I wish Bronny success. He had 4 points and shot 2 of 9. It is a summer league debut and is now out with a knee injury. So we wish Bronny all the best.
I think he's gonna do well. I think he's gonna do well. Here's why I think he's gonna do well. This is what you have to consider. This is
Yeah.
what's in my head all of the time when I'm thinking about. I think nepotism in sports is a little different than like in business,
Same. It's hugely different.
right? Because he's a very Bronny's a very good basketball player, good enough that he was able to play at USC, right? Good enough that he was able to he could do all of these things, right? To be a college level athlete, to be a professional level athlete, that takes a certain amount of grit. Like he woke up every morning for pretty much his entire life and was like, my dad is the most famous athlete on the planet, and we have more money than we could ever need in all of our lives 100 times, and I could do anything I want in the whole entire world right now. I could do it. I could just go and chase that dream, but I want to go run the lines, and I want to do crunches and lift weights and play basketball against very competitive other, like that's inside of him, that he
Yeah.
wanted to do that. And I think because that's inside of, because he chose to do that when he had all of these other things, that just says to me he's got a shot, and I'm really rooting for him. I really want him to do well.
I think nepotism in like sports, modeling, and acting is actually just kind of fine because in sports, you've got to have some level of like innate talent baked in. And what better way
Hmm.
to get that than if your parent was in the NBA or had played
Right.
sports at a high level? If you're a model, like it's people call Kaya Gerber the daughter of Cindy Crawford like a nepo baby. It's like people like in modeling, they're always just looking for a type. We want a Cindy Crawford type. Okay, how about Cindy Crawford's daughter that looks just like Cindy Crawford? Like that's not nepotism. That's just like what they're looking for, and it's like the same thing in acting where it's like, oh, we want a this kind of type. Well, how about Maya Hawke, who looks just like her mom, Uma Thurman, and has the talent to do it. Yeah, perfect. Put her in there. It's like it's just different, and I think the great thing about sports is he will either succeed or fail, and they will either win games and he will play well, or he won't, and ultimately that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, we're rooting for you, Bronny. Go do it. Go do it. Have a great
Go
first
do it,
season.
Bronny.
You know what I
Take
do
us out
like,
to dinner.
Jason?
Also, what's that?
This is the Chief Keef That's That Shit I Don't Like trophy. I'm gonna tell you what I do like. We've made
Tell
it
me.
all the way 40 minutes into this, and we've not mentioned it yet. The Gladiator 2 trailer. I like it, Jason.
Oh, I'm
I
excited.
like it.
I'm
I
excited.
like it.
I shared with you a slight concern I had watching it, but I'm going to leave that off mic for now because I just want people to feel good about the
I feel
Gladiator 2
I
trailer.
feel
And I feel
good.
really good. I was like, are they going to let Denzel just. Denzel is. I think Denzel looks like the star of the movie.
He looks like the star of the movie, which made me so happy. That's my favorite actor of all time.
Yes.
And you've got him in another Ridley Scott movie
Let's
in my
go.
in probably my favorite Ridley Scott creative universe, the Gladiator universe. And you have him being he looks like the bad guy in it of like, I want to tear Rome apart. That's what I want to do. You're gonna be my instrument to
I
do
love
that.
that.
Oh my god, yes. Give it to me.
Also,
The part where he asks Paul Mescal, what whose head could I give you that would satisfy this rage? And he's like, all of Rome or all of the Roman soldiers or whatever. And then Denzel just laughs and goes, too much. Like, oh fuck. We're like he's gonna be doing it in this movie, Jason, and I can't wait.
you know how I knew he was doing it? Just in the
Hmm.
trail, just in the small amount of him doing the thing that we see in the trailer. Because I thought to myself, man, I want to wear like a toga and some Roman robes. Like he made it look
Yeah.
good.
Good.
He made it
Good.
look really good.
Really good. I love I love that he said accent. Nah, I'm good.
Uh,
I'm just gonna do my normal
I'm gonna
Denzel
just do
Washington
my thing.
voice. I'm Denzel Washington. Go for it, Denzel. Way to
I'm
go! Oh my god,
excited.
I'm so excited. All right, next trophy: Step Brothers Catalina Wine Mix Trophy. Given out to the thing we're most excited about for the upcoming week. This week's winner, Summer League. It's here,
Let's go.
Jason.
I can't
It's
wait.
here, and you're gonna go. You're gonna be
I
there.
am.
Have fun.
I'm
Have fun.
I'm gonna go to the first weekend of Las Vegas Summer League. Always a grand time. I'm gonna do it the right way, not the way we used to do it when we were still writing for Grantland and the Ringer. I'm gonna go for 2 days and I'm leaving. Not the way
Oh,
we used to do
rather
it,
than
which is
2 weeks.
get stuck there for 13 days and you just feel like you're losing your fucking mind after a while. I'm really excited. I think everybody who is if you're an NBA fan, go to the first weekend of Summer League. It's so much fun. You get to
It's
see
really fun.
a lot of these rookies in their first real pro minutes, figuring it out. The vibe is great. Everybody there is just like a huge basketball fan, and it's super, super, super fun. I'm excited.
I I had a really good time. We we went for Grantland, we went for the Ringer, and both times it was just like it's the thing you just said. If you love basketball, go to Summer League. You got to go at least once because you show up and it's everybody that you've read, everybody that you follow, every basketball player is there, every coach is there. They're not all playing, but they're all there, every single one of them, and all of the coaches are there, and they're just wandering around in this little tiny pavilion center, and it's awesome. It's like you stepped inside of the internet, or you stepped inside of the NBA movie, and it's like holy shit! That's Greg Popovich just walked past me. There's Shams.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All of the people are here. It's great. There's Michelle Beto. Oh my God.
I,
There's Maria Taylor.
when one of the times I was there, I was like, oh my God, there's Mike D'Antoni, there's Pat Riley. And then I was sitting in the press row and, they had like these like young NBA interns come out and they give you the box scores for each game. And
Mhm.
the kid that was giving out the box scores was Mike D'Antoni's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like,
Nepotism, baby. Way to go.
let's go. It's super, super fun. And you'll just find yourself like sitting in the stands near these people. It's great.
Yeah. Wonderful time. Go to Summer League if you can. You want to do the little trophies?
Let's do them.
All right. We did the little trophies. These ones change each week and are situation specific. They're for the smaller storylines that we want to mention, but don't need to get all the way into. My first little trophy. The Danny DeVito in Matilda.
Whoa.
Listen, listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you could do about it, trophy. That trophy goes to Sabrina UNESCO. who,
Oh yeah,
after the Liberty lost to Caitlin Clark's
I love
Fever,
this quote was so
behind the
good.
first ever triple double by a rookie in the WNBA, Sabrina responded by saying that a game against the Liberty
I
is
love,
the Fever Super Bowl. I love this. I love
I
that
love it
Sabrina's
too.
like, I'm a veteran in the league. You're a rookie. I'm smart. You're dumb. I'm big. You're little. I'm right. You're wrong. I love this. I love every single part of this.
Okay, my first little trophy is the Creed "Can You Take Me Higher" trophy to Rudy Gobert, who was recently caught on video as France warms up for the Olympics. The team was lined up taking a photo, and Rudy Gobert is like going up on his, quite clearly going up on his tippy toes, so he doesn't look so small next to Wemby, and it's just really funny,
I
very
saw this.
relatable. Imagine being
I
7'3" and going up on your tippy toes.
I saw in the notes, Doc, that you were doing a Creed "Can You Take Me Higher" trophy, but I didn't see who it was for. And as soon as you started explaining, it was for Rudy Gobert for standing on his tippy toes. Incredible work, Jason.
Thank you.
Incredible work, Jerry. Give him a round of applause. Can you take me high? My next little trophy. We were just talking about him, Denzel Washington in Training Day. You think my troops are gonna help you? Trophy. That trophy goes to DeMar DeRozan, the most iconic and everlasting Toronto Raptor ever.
That's right. That's right.
Just decided to show up and help Kendrick Lamar shove Drake off a cliff. He
Wow.
was immediately like, I'll come to your concert and
I'll be
dance
there.
on stage while you perform a diss song against Drake. I'll be in the video. You got
Wow.
it. You got it. Kendrick Lamar, you think my troops are going to help you? That's what he told Drake. And it makes me very happy that he did that.
Side note, the video for "They Not Like Us" dropped during the Michael Rubin White Party, that famous party in the Hamptons that a bunch of notable people, including a lot of athletes, go to. Drake was there. There was a picture of him and Michael Rubin together, and I've just been obsessed with trying to figure out like how all of these other athletes, Grant Williams, Cade, how did they not get their picture taken with Drake? Like, how did they get out of there? How did they? Were they like, oh my, he's coming, go, 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 he's coming, and they just like go to the other, get
Oh,
on their
man.
phone, like, oh, yeah. Like, how did you manage? Like, do you think Grant Williams was like, I can't, Drake, I can't take a photo with
I
you right now?
can't. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, one more side note before we move
Yeah,
on. We mentioned during the Knicks playoff run a couple of times our good friend Max Searle, co-creator of the hit TV show Neon on Netflix. And when Max was working on the show, he texted me and he was like, "Hey, do you think Jason could come work on this show?" You and I were working on Premium at the time. Do you think Jason could come work on this show? Like, I'm looking, like, we're about to hire writers, and I just text him a clip of the video of Denzel Washington saying, "You think my troops are going to help you?" And that's a well, that's a reverse nepotism. I kept the job from you, Jason.
it's okay. It's okay. My next little trophy is the Rihanna "Oh Nana, oh it's funny" trophy to
You nailed that.
to Pascal Siakam for thanking the Raptors at his
Incredible.
press conference
Incredible.
announcing his contract extension with the Pacers.
Just throw it out there. Just throw it out
It's
there.
just
I
a
hope he's
muscle memory. It's just muscle memory.
just do it every time. Just always thank the Raptors, no matter
Yeah.
what. The my next little trophy, the Bill Duke and Menace to Society. You know you done fucked up, don't you? You know it, don't you? Trophy. To Klay Thompson for signing with the Mavs. You could have gone to the Spurs, Klay. You could have gone to the Spurs. I I went to I had to get a root canal, Jason, and because I'm a giant coward, I make them put me to sleep every time I go to the dentist, straight to sleep. And so I go there in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. They put me in the chair. They give me the gas. I'm out. I wake up. It's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever. I'm minding my business, eating some food. And then I just get on my phone and I was like, fuck it. Klay Thompson come to San Antonio. And apparently it had been announced like 3 hours earlier that he was signing with the Mavs. And what a disappointment. He would have been so good in San Antonio. What are you doing, Klay? What are you doing? The Mavs have peaked. They're not going to win a title. They peaked. They're never going to go any further. They're never going to go any further than what they did. That's as far as they're going to go. I had this long-standing take that what I wanted to happen to the Houston Rockets was I wanted when they were at James Harden, a wildly frustrating team to watch. Is I wanted them to make it to the finals and then lose, so that they could just say to themselves, "We're right there. We're going to make it. It's fine. Just hold tight." And then every year they lose. That's what's going to happen to the Mavs now. They made it to the finals and they're like, "We're good. We're good." They're disregarding all of the luck that had to go into it. They peaked. They're never going to be better than they were last year. It's done.
My final little trophy is the Madonna Holiday Trophy 2 to the Spurs graphics and social media person for taking the July 4th holiday weekend off and not working, so that when the signing of Chris Paul was announced by the Spurs on July 7th, the post that hit social media, including a picture of Chris Paul in his Warriors jersey, they had no one to Photoshop the Spurs jersey on him. Then, of course, Harrison Barnes, who the Spurs have acquired, that signing was announced today. And of course, Harrison Barnes is Photoshopped into the Spurs jersey because it is a work week. The work week has now begun. And shouts to you, Spurs graphics person, because you deserve the time off. You don't get enough time off. And it was a holiday weekend to celebrate the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. And you said, "I'm not working. I'm not doing it." You can post the picture of Chris Paul in his Warriors jersey yourself. So R.C. Buford probably had to do that. Shouts to you.
Way to go. We did it again, Jason.
We did it again!
Can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Episode number 40 is donezo. We close every episode just by saying the names of underappreciated old basketball players with no context at all, while the theme music carries us out. Zuri, will you play the theme music, please? I'm Shea Serrano. That's Jason Concepcion. Producer Zuri in the shadows making the noises. See y'all next week. I'm doing Denzel Washington movie characters. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Frank Lucas, American Gangster.
Ooh. He'll step under you. He'll kick you in the face. Bruce Bowen.
Underappreciated Matt Lee Whitlock from Out of Time.
Ooh, Out of Time. Okay.
Movie.
The Forgotten Frenchman.